And when I say old style, I truly mean basically what you're talking about. They'll look at more simple methods to it versus oh, we have a bump, so we need to pull a blood panel, and that'll be 250. And I'm not even making this about money because I'll sell my soul. It's not about money, but it is about ethics, and it's about a means to an end because it's always an end. And so the old style vets are sort of like the old style breeders from 30 years ago. Those are the ones that I will link to the best that I can. Those are the ones that I'll reach out to first. Those are the ones that their voices are trusted with me. They weigh the most. And it's just because there is no school that can ever covet over experience as far as like through your everyday problems. And in my circle of friends, which is very small, we all have our little forte. And the vet that's in our circle is she's young, but she's an old soul. So therefore, she wants to expand. Let's look a little bit past this. But it's not about testing, testing, testing. It's about let's wait and see. It's a little bit about patience as well. Because again, the old school vets, breeders, any of the mentors that's been there but done that, they truly believe and understand that this is a circle. And if nothing else, we need to learn through it. That's it. We cannot stop the inevitable, but we can learn. Therefore, we can pass on that knowledge to the next one that this pops up. And that's just how I see it. A lot of people reach out to me, and I'm telling you, I've said it a million times. If we could go back to the old day ways, our dogs in my breed, the longevity is just slowly coming down, and a lot of it is because we covet and we helicopter over on top of them so much, as we should to an extent. I'm definitely not one just throw it out there and throw to the wolves and good luck. Hope to see you tonight. But we do place boundaries and whatnot, but I also allow them to place boundaries on me. I hope that people don't understand that.
Yeah, it's hard for me to. It's hard for me because I'm probably would be considered a helicopter dog owner, and I try not to be. I'm not as bad as my wife, but I'm pretty close. It just depends, like when our livestock guardian dog had a little bit of an eye issue and his eyes were swollen, and it was freaked my wife out, and I was like, oh, let's give it a day and but I'm glad we went in and took care of it. It was an easy fix, and it was a little scratch or whatever that needed medication, and he's better overnight. Basically, 2 or 3 doses of ointment already is taking it way down. But
Good.
so that's a peace of mind. But sometimes I feel like we hover over them and don't give. And I think it harkens back to, like society, like you were saying, society's expectations, and then the veterinarian expectations too, because a veterinarian can talk me into a lot of things sometimes in the middle of the heat of the moment type of thing. And so I value finding that sane voice in a lot of ways. Like we have a repro vet for our couple of stud Frenchies that I have now, and she breeds. So I've been talking to her a lot about different kinds of testing and and what does she do with her dogs. And so she's got a wealth of knowledge, and she doesn't seem to be trying to pass off any kind of stuff that she wouldn't do for her own program. And she's pretty realistic. Like I've brought up studies and talked about things, and she's like, well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? She's like, temper your thought there. There's some schools of thought here that might be not necessarily the case. And so I like her ability to kind of critically think about a subject instead of like overreact. So I do value that, because I'll overreact if they overreact. So then you start to wonder if that's just the money turning, the the monetary system is free flowing there sometimes.
A vet that I feel like a priceless vet is one that you can truly bounce ideas off of, and you don't. That's kind of hard to find sometimes because in their world, it's their voice. People come in such strife. They come in with their nerves and their anxiety out the roof. And so these vets, unfortunately, are placed in positions where they have to make decisions for the people. So my biggest thing when we have something, if it's not an ER visit, okay, let's take that out of the equation. But if we have something that pops up, and I'll sit back and I'll look and I'll say, okay, all right, Sin, what are we going to present to the vet today? What do we present? Why are we here today? Why are we bringing this dog in? If I can answer that and have a presentation in my mind that will match what the dog's doing, since we can't really communicate, then we'll go in. If not, I learned patience. Let's learn a little bit of patience. Let's see what meds we have here. Sometimes I close it down on the outside voices, and I just go ahead and I focus on what's in front of me, whatever the problem may be. If I feel it's above my pay grade, we're gone. If I don't, let's slow it down. Let's think it through. Those are the vets that are absolutely priceless. And when I say vets, I don't just mean that. I've got vet tech friends. I've got office people that know a lot more than me. They've been in the business for 40 years. Our breeder friends, great pet homes that are in the human medical world, and it just all coincides together. So over the years, I feel, and I still am, but I still I feel that there to build your circle with everybody's forte in it is such a strength. It's such a strength, and if we can bounce off of one another and then present it to the medical professionals, so they don't have to try to figure anything out. That's our job as far as humanizing these dogs. If you're going to take them in, know what you're presenting, if you can. Now, I have one dog here that her name's Easy, and she is not easy. When she gets sick or hurt, or a toe or an ear or an eye or just anything, a feeling, it could be a feeling hurt. She's so dramatic. I'll reach out to a good friend of mine and I'll say, what's she doing? I don't know. I don't know. I can't figure it out. So those are the difficult ones where I'll give it to my patience runs thin, and then I'm like, okay, this now it's become above my pay grade. Let's go seek out professional help. But up until then, I'm bouncing ideas, trying to figure it out within my own circle. So therefore, we don't have to put that pressure on the vet to bring in a mystery. And that's why I think vets on the other end of the spectrum, I think that's why vets get so sad. And there's so much pressure, and they just get sad, and they have to make these decisions for the people every day. They see the worst of the worst. So I have nothing but respect for veterinarians. My vet has been my friend since I was 16 years old. We've taught a lot to each other about the different breeds. When I was on the list for a Boerboel years ago, I was on there for quite a few months, and I just went in one afternoon, and we were there till 7:30 at night researching the breed, because there's other things about it as far as not just temperament and size, but what kind of anesthesia do you use for these dogs? What about the heartworm medicines? At a 200-pound Boerboel. We sat down and we literally collided with one another and bounced ideas so we could bring this dog into, Northwest Mississippi, and try to move forward with this breed that is a little bit unknown. It's a little bit untouched. Kind of looks like a big boxer or a big mastiff, but we don't really know, and it is different. So we sat down. That woman to me will forever hold my heart. She is priceless to me, because she also listens. Now, in the background, I teach her about all the boxer specialty stuff. All these genetic testings and all of this. And she's like, oh my God, what's that? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me figure it out and I'll get back with you. Because it's always just, it's revolutionary change at all times within a breed. As it should be. I'm not knocking that, but